you were joyous.
Yeah, sure.
And you were thanking delegates for accepting you guys and making sure that they give you guys a vote to lead the federation. Very well. Fantastic. I like that. We'll get into the discussion of what you said in the post-election remarks. And next to him is the president himself, from a treasurer to a president. I mean, life can really turn around real quick. Mr. Bernard Quartey, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How was the reception like? How did you receive or welcome this nod given to you by your own members?
In fact, it was very great, but I wasn't actually expecting that. I made my mind to actually contest and to make sure I take the nod and the improvement. That is what happened. I was able to send my message to the delegate for the delegate to vote for me, and it did exactly so.
You think your message did the trick? What would you say did was a trump card in getting you to win this seat? Because your senior, your friend, like, can I put that your senior?
That's my boss.
Your boss, yes, your senior brother, that he spoke very well about you, that you guys back and forth. He's helped you throughout the ranks of boxing, and he's made sure that you guys have a very solid unit and a solid partnership. He was quite surprised you were going against it, but again, he was hoping that the best winner emerges after the elections. What would you say made you the right choice for your delegate? Because your predecessor was just as that the best sport administrator. Under his tenure, you won a bronze medal at the Olympics after almost 29 years. And 49 years, that's for Ghana.
It is true. It is true.
Yeah.
You know, I cannot actually downplay him. He has done very well. And I keep on saying that he's a leader. And there is nothing that he does that I wasn't involved. I keep on saying I've been part of the success that we've done.
You are part of the success.
Very well.
It's a collective effort.
Very well. There are instances that issue will pop up. I'll call him as a leader, advise him. Sometimes you cannot force him to take whatever suggestion you have to bring on board. You understand? So what I did was to actually take up the mantle by making sure I get to the delegate and send my message to them. But that actually worked.
Fantastic. Now that you had a landslide victory, 40 different your competitors. Yes. What would you say also did that trick for you? Or got the delegation for you massively?
I think it was a message was sold to the delegates, and then they bought it favorably. I think I also, first and foremost, I have to thank God for the victory, and then also the hard work that we injected into our campaign. I had a couple of friends that I formed team with who also helped so much with the campaign. So by and large, I think the magic was from the campaign. We did a good campaign because I had to travel. We'll talk of that. So
you had to travel.
Yes, I had to travel to the north. Yes, of course, to meet the delegates.
Over there.
To make sure, of course.
So you wasn't like
nobody has ever
phone call, email.
No,
you had to be there.
I have to be there in person, which nobody has ever done in the history of GBA Foundation. So I made sure I travel there, meet all of them. Send my message to them, and then in fact, they got it, and that's it.
I like that. Elections, there are a lot of twists and turns in elections. You never know with the outcome until the final vote is declared. But great. Let me start with you also. You said you are hoping to rewrite the wrongs in your post-election remarks. A very strong statement.
Yeah.
It means there are wrongs in a boxing foundation. Amateur boxing is basically the foundation of boxing in the country.
Sure.
And through that, we've had a lot of great world champions.
Sure.
What are some of the wrongs you are hoping to rewrite, as you clearly stated after the elections?
Okay, so the wrongs I was talking about is, I also said I'm coming to build capacity. We have realized, for some time now, we don't have qualified officials. We don't also have qualified trainers. If I say qualified, usually with amateur, it's quite different from the professional. You see, the amateur, we are, we've liaised with the IBA, the international body. So usually, what we have to do is we have to, organize on a regular basis a training for officials and then the trainers, which of course will give them a platform so that when when the team is traveling, they can join the team too. Because if they don't have that star, they will not be allowed or they will not be qualified to join the team. And then also, usually when you go out without your officials, sometimes it becomes very difficult for your team to even win something in the prelims. So I believe for us to get a good team, we need to get good officials. We need to get good trainers who will be
As a referee,
the referee and judges. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Good officials as in referees and judges, and then good trainers. Trainers who can tap talent when they see one. Trainers who can, build up talent, because we need talent. Ghana, we are blessed with full of talent, but the people who tap one when they see are the people that we are looking for, and we need to train them in such a way that you can do a professional job, so that the amateur will also get to the level it deserves.
So the professional aspect, you think, has not been with amateur working for some time, or we've not had that top professional, prerequisite to get us to understand the boxing discipline.
No, what I'm saying is it is not so, because most of the amateur boxers, or all of them, comes from a particular gym, which of course they also have professionals in those gyms. But I'm saying that our doings must conform with IBA from particular gyms, and they have trainers also there. We need to train the trainers to IBA standard, so that if something, at least the trainers can also represent in international level. Because as it stands, without that starting, they cannot do. And then also we have particular rules with IBA, which of course when they are trained, they can also impact on the amateur.
Our technical understand should conform with that of the international practice of IBA. This is great, fantastic. I like that. So for you, it's enhancing the capacity of our official technical, that's referees and officials and judges as well.
Yeah, that's what I think we are lacking. Yes,
and we want to bring on board, because we want to enhance that. Great, I like that. But still, after I think I heard you talk about all inclusive administration after winning the elections. Any other thing, or you have to expand on that as well? Then any other thing you probably think?
Yes, I would say that the election is over. We are not fighting, and the election is live. And I keep on telling them that we are in the boxing, and boxing we are family. So when there's an election and election is over, we all must come together and make sure we fight ahead what is in front of us. What my colleague just said in respect to what we intend to, we share the same vision with me, is in respect to the referees, that is the R&D. When you look at it critically, you'll be shocked that this country certified R&D, we don't even have it.
The R&D is,
that is the referees. We don't. And believe you me, you know very well that next year we are going to host All African Games. So
next year, fantastic.
who are we going to parade to represent Ghana in terms of officiating? Who? So I thought it prudent that we have to bring it on board as one of our key areas that we have to look at to transform. And in transforming it, we have to make sure that we get our referee a certificate in order for them to be recognized by IBA, so that on the day of competition, they will be in the middle of the game. And when you talk about the coaching, very surprising that the whole country, we're always talking about boxing. We have only 2 certified coaches. So the question is, in the absence of those 2 coaches, who take over the mantle? Are we supposed to go to competition and go and try? Yes, it was Ofori Asari and then Akai. Here are the only 2 certified coaches in Ghana when it talks about amateur. In the absence of those 2 people, who takes over? Who's going to take over? So we wanted to change the face of all this, where we have to bring on board a lot of coaches, certified coaches. That is why we intend that now that we have been given the nod, we will then negotiate with the IBA body for them to actually get a sound instructor, for the instructor to come down, and then we organize a course for them to be able to be part. And then we excel, and we have a lot of them.
So it's quite surprising you making that statement that Ghana participated in boxing since ages since we started boxing. We've had coaches lead us to world championships. And here we are with only 2 coaches in the country, certified coaches. But look at the amount of boxers, the number of boxers we have in the country. That means we have a huge gap
Very well.
between us and the professional world
Yes.
and the international countries. And these boxers who want to be at the same level with. What sort of workshops are we looking at? So I back get it as instructors, then what happens afterwards?
Yeah, that is what we are going to do now. Because looking at the rules, that is IBA rule. There is no way you can go and bring a professional boxer, lead a team to participate in the competition. They will not allow. You understand? That is why we wanted to make it a point that once we've taken the seat, we need to then write to them, request for them to give us an instructor to come down, so that all interested coaches or R&D should come on board to participate, so that they'll be able to excel. And if they are able to excel, why not? When it is time, or in the absence of the 2 coaches that I'm talking about, if they are not there, they can take the mantle. Then we going to hire the services of another country. Because we have a whole lot of talent in respect to coaching.
What has been the problem? What has been that long-standing problem?
Yes, it's that one, there is no doubt. It is funding. Funding is the problem because the courses come in and out every day. But for you to even get money for the coaches to travel out of the country to go and participate, it's a problem. They are very good. Practically, they are very good. Theoretically, they are very good. But where would they even get money? Get their visas, get their tickets for them to go and participate and pass and come.
Because I'm sure you go to Bukom, you get a lot of people who say they are coaches.
It's not, there are rules that you are supposed to learn.
And the boxing rudiments keep changing.
It keeps, because they keep on, the manual keep on changing. So you should be able to abreast yourself with the rules. So that when you come, you can impact that knowledge into your what? That is the boxes. But it's not happening. And that is what I said, referees and judges. No single referee that we can say that is a certified referee. In Ghana, when you come to issues internationally, when you come to issues of amateur in Ghana,
no
the coaches, only 2. So the question is, in the absence of them, and there is tournament, this year we are going for Commonwealth, and these 2 people are not there, if I should say, are not praying, so are we going to hire the services of another coach to lead us to participate in a competition like this? These are the problems, and I said, and my colleague, we made it a point that we are going to make sure with the support that we are going to get.
You are part of the previous administration. I mean, so you are saying it's basically funding. That's been the sole problem of us not being unable to attain what
it's funding, because the guys are there, they are willing to participate, but the cost involved in participating is the problem.
And then previous administration did nothing about that.
Those are the issues that I was raising, and that was the reason why I contested it. That was the basic reason why I contested it. That we need to change the face of boxing in Ghana. Not that today it is time for Commonwealth, we call 2, 3 people, we run individual championship, and then they are going. No, we need to make sure the foundation is strong.
So amateur boxing is
very well. So we need to get more of them. We need to let the boxers understand that these are the rules, so that when we are able to get a chance to go to the tournament, we bring more medals, and that is what we have been crying for. And it was on that premise that I said, no, let me contest to change the face of boxing. That was the reason why I contested my box.
Now that, I mean, it looks like there's a lot to be done with regards to amateur boxing. Clearly, the issue of funding comes in, and the issue of making sure that we enhance the capacity of officials. Officialdom is very, very key when it gets to this. Because when it gets to the international scene, I'm sure there are certain key changes within the setup of boxing, amateur boxing, which our officials would have to be abreast with. If you are unable to get yourself aligned with some of these things, I'm sure it goes against us. You being the first vice, definitely going to be his right hand man. You're going to help him lead the way for boxing. Personally, what are you bringing on board? I'm sure you talked about the enhancement of the capacity, but what else do we need to do to make sure that we are getting higher heights moving forward?
Okay, so before I answer that question, I want to clear something, on the trainers issue. You see, about the certification of the trainers, we have, like I said earlier on, we have the professional level and then the amateur level. You understand? But then the issue here is the professional, coaches. I mean, the amateur comes from a gym, which of course they have trainers. So it is up to the trainers to go in for the amateur course since they have amateur boxes. It is not as if they are not being certified in other areas of the professional level. Some of them have certificates on their professional career, professional level. But then we believe that because of the IBA thing, and then because of the benefit of the amateur boxers they have in their various gyms, we think or we believe it is very imperative they go in for the IBA certification as well. I don't want them to get us wrong that just like you answered, boxing has been around for so many years and there is no any certification just for only to know. With the professional level, most of them have their own certification from different areas. But then we are talking about the IBA certification, which of course we believe it is imperative most of them or almost all of them should be able to get because they have amateur boxers. And in one way or the other, they may be called to the national team to come and serve as the national coaches.
And it's a prerequisite.
Of course, to be able to, of course. So we think it is something that they need to acquire. And most of the coaches are eager to do so, but because of the funding, just as the president said, they are not able to do so. And it is one area that we are going to look at it very, very well. Then also, when it comes to the height that we want to take boxing to, just as you asked, it is true. We're going to work on a sponsorship package, which of course, with my able president, we have had a lot of discussion on these areas, and then also with our PRO. So we are going to tackle all those areas to be able to get enough fund, and then also to be able to push for agendas on board. So that is it.
Great. Is it very interesting? I mean, to see amateur boxing. I mean, there's a justification call for a lot of investment into amateur boxing. A lot of work you guys have done, the expert. After every Olympics, not every Olympic, but Olympic that Ghana has been to, boxing that has given us enough medals to boast of. So obviously, there's a justification for the kind of investment you guys want to help us, build the capacity of everyone and all inclusive administration as you guys been saying. So, practically, the measures being put in place in the next 2 to 3 years. The Africa Games is just around the corner. What are we going to see to the athletes themselves? We want to have the right athletes, not the athletes who are well conditioned, have the right state of mind. There's a lot of things hampering the progress of these athletes. Where they are, Bukum and James now, the vicinities. Just recently we saw books and books by some of our football included in football personalities. The combined education with the sporting discipline, which I think is a very good side of the story. What are we doing to make sure that we don't just get this athletes condition, but mentally they have this fortress, which can help them overcome any hurdle in their career path.
What we are doing now is it's a challenge. It's a challenge. It's not only the boxing, like I said from the beginning, that after boxing you should be able to engage in some kind of employment. You understand? So education is very key. So what we have decided to do now is that we have decided to actually run a individual championship to be able to exploit the talents. When we are able to do that, we have to table a proposal to the Ministry of Interior if some slot will be given to the federation for them to be engaged, so that after boxing, after the tournament will be engaged, because some of them have some employable skills that at the end of the day they will be distributed to the various security services to help their cause. Because after all, it is a compass sport. So if you find them after boxing and you find them in the respective security services, why not? For instance, armed forces, non-immigration service, the prison service. If after the games they are given a chance to be employed and they are working, I believe their lifestyle will change. And that is what we are planning to do. Not after the games we need them for them to do as we know. We wanted to bring them on board, write a proposal, go to the Ministry of Interior, table our problems for him to listen, and I believe he's going to do so, and then most of them will be engaged.
Then also, like he said, to add up to what he said, think we are going to keep them so busy. We're not going to do like after tournament then nothing again until another tournament. No, we're not doing that. So we've tabled a lot of programs that we're going to keep them so busy. I mean, here and there to ensure that they are always active, because usually when you leave them for quite too long and then you bringing them together, it's a problem, it's a challenge. So this time around, just after the Commonwealth Games, we're not leaving them. Okay, we're still going to keep them so busy, and then make sure we take them to other tournaments. We have the World Championship and other tournaments. So we're going to make sure we take them to all those tournaments and then to give them the needed exposure. Just to get them the needed exposure. Then also we have another problem, which of course we need to work it out with the ministry. That is, in boxing, when it comes to the Commonwealth like this, we don't have qualification challenge. We have automatic qualification entry. In boxing, we have weight categories, weight classes. Just like football, we know it is for 11 people. It is 11 people that are on the field. So if government is sponsoring football, it's taking 11 people, reserves, and then other team members of the team. So we think it is fair for the government to also treat us same, because we have weight classes, which is I think about 9-10 weight classes. So if the government gives us that opportunity and we are able to take all the weight classes to a championship, just as the Commonwealth Games, we believe at least, if not 2 or 3 weight categories, we can bring something. But if you go with a proposal to the government and you say, no, I can only give you 5 slots, 5 boxes, you just take 5 boxes. It is not fair. Give us the opportunity. Let us take all the weight classes, send them to the tournament. At least in all of the weight categories, we may have 2, 3, 4 winning something. The government most of the times doesn't give us that opportunity. You say no, we don't have money. Just take about 5 people. And then
it's quite unfair.
Quite unfair because you don't do football like that. And boxing is the second largest sport in Ghana. If not the first. You see, so I don't see why government should take us unfairly like that. So this goes to you, the media. We are pleading with you to take it out.
So you want to get funding for every category at least?
Yes, for the Commonwealth. Yes, because we have other competition, it comes with qualification. So those ones there, the number of qualified athletes are those going. But with the Commonwealth, at least we should be allowed to take our entire team.
So I know you guys are in charge of juvenile boxing as well.
Sure.
What are the plans for juvenile boxing to make sure that it's more revived and you get the right boxers?
So with the juvenile team, it is true. We are working so hard because it has been dormant for some time now. We're working so hard to, just as I said, we also have a couple of tournaments for them, which of course we're just bringing them out to ensure that we put them in the landline for, people to see. All depends on funding, just as I said, because if you have to go out, it depends on money. If we don't have the money, we can't do all of these things. So we also follow on corporate bodies to also assist in that regard.
I think what we'll do is, we know the next Olympics. Commonwealth is immediate, is Africa going to Olympics, and I'm sure South Africa, African champions, part of the Olympics in Paris, and we need to start preparing for that. We don't want to have a repeat of what happened the other time. I thought if you had done better preparations for our boxers, Shaku, Kechi, and what's his name, would have all brought us medals. So we'll find time again. President will meet again, Bernard Quartey and Fodada. We'll meet again. Probably within this year, look at the plans practically to make sure that we get the boxers very ready for major championship in the nearest future. So it was great having you guys on the program. We do this again. Dawda Fuseni, the first vice president of the Ghana Boxing Federation, of course, that's been of course the president now, the new, the latest president in town. Congratulations once again, and congratulations to Dawda.
Thank you very much.
We are back after this short break.